So welcome to another Tokyo Revengers video guys. After the release of the last chapter, finally, it has been officially confirmed that there is a second time leaper in the story. To be honest, that chapter was crazy. There were many theories and speculations about second time leaper because the story focused only on Mikey. So at first I thought the story would be about saving him. Similarly, the story went towards the final battle. But this is where many mysteries begin to unfold one after the other. I think the story is not just about saving Mikey, but there are many other things beyond that. Speaking of Time Leaper, we still don't know how many Time Leapers are in the story. But first Time Leaper is not Takemichi. At least in my opinion. So I'm going to share with you about it in this video. So before we talk about that, as usual guys, I would kindly appreciate it if you can drop a like on the video and consider subscribing to the channel. Let's go into the video now. So when I was writing the script for Hanma's second Time Leaper video, this idea suddenly popped into my mind. I think there was another Time Leaper in the story before Takemichi. This is just a theory, and I'm not sure about this, but I can say that this theory makes sense. Also, let me know below if you find anything wrong with this theory, because we can all have different or similar opinions. But watch the video till the end. Anyway, when I say Takemichi is not the first Time Leaper, we all know what happened at the beginning of the story. Hina and Naoto both die in an accident. That said it clearly. The dispute with the city's Tokyo Manji gang continues to intensify and has finally incurred civilian casualties, and 2 of them have died. So, Naoto has no chance to save Takemichi in this timeline. But people will say Akin pushed Takemichi off the tracks. At the same time, Akin must have been in prison at this time because he killed Kiyomasa when he was 16 years old. So both of them are less likely to get involved in the first timeline. Yet Takemichi died in the first timeline. This is where the confusion arises. After Takemichi's second time travel, we can see this scene. Even Naoto is a little surprised to see this. Akin big shot of Toman gang. But he must have been in jail. So yeah. Takemichi has changed the past. Akin was not arrested by the police due to that. So we can divide this into 2 timelines. Timeline of his death. The timeline in which he was saved. So there is no trigger in the first timeline for Takemichi. But Hina was the only person who came to his mind at the time of his death. He did not even think about his friends or family. Before the incident, he saw the news of Hina's death on TV. The 2 fell in love with each other during school days. But Takemichi threw everything away and started living alone. And Hina still loves Takemichi. So in the first timeline, everything was very normal. But at the moment of his death, he performed a time travel. His trigger at that moment was his emotions. I firmly believe this. Handshake is not the only trigger. At that moment, he was the trigger for himself. As he successfully went back to the past, the future slowly began to change. And in the first timeline, I think Naoto was not a detective officer. Because he knew nothing about this incident. And yeah, that's why he also died in this incident. But Takemichi told him all things in the past. The day Hina dies in the future. And the day he falls on the tracks. But Naoto could not save his sister. But instead he saved Takemichi. Because he remembers well the date that Takemichi told him. And the reason Takemichi came back to the future was only because he was alive. Otherwise, he would have been in the past. I think now everyone understands this. Akin is not the person who pushed Takemichi off the tracks in the first place. All of this must have been started by someone else. But we don't know who it is. Anyone who knew anything about another time leaper or time leap before Takemichi must have been in this timeline. But these are all just my thoughts. When Sanzu said this, I was really surprised. Aside from Takemichi, there are many others who know about time leap. So when you think about it, we all know that Hina died in the first timeline. Also, I think we know who did it. It was Kasaki who killed her. Because she rejected his proposal. But he knew he could change the timeline again. That's why he killed her. so he can change things at another timeline according to his convenience. Otherwise, he would not have done it in the first place. But how does Kisaki know about time leap? There are still many mysteries we don't know. In chapter 184, when Kisaki escapes from Takemichi, he says this: "I'll start over as many times as I need to." We know very well from this that he is talking about time leap. But how does he know about this? So yeah, of course there is another person behind all this. The true identity of the person who pushed Takemichi off the tracks in the first timeline. And we need to know who told Kisaki about time leap. But just like you guys, that person also comes to my mind. So first let's talk about Kisaki's plans. Kisaki's first plan was to kill Draken and steal the number 2 seat. So it was during Mobius arc that Hanma was first introduced in the series. After all, he knew about all Kisaki's plans. He has no such personal motives. We know he needs of entertainment. That was the main reason he was with Kisaki. He had several plans to destroy the Toman gang. He enjoyed it all. Also, Hanma was involved in the scene where Hina dies. He already knows about Takemichi and Hina. He said, "You're not in car. I was hoping to kill them all in one go." So everything around him is a mystery. Although Kisaki and Hanma both plan to kill Draken, Takemichi thwarts it. And the Draken was saved in the past. So Kisaki cannot be the number 2 of Toman gang. And the second was to Valhalla destroy Toman and have Mikey as the head. Once again the involvement of Hanma. He was a sidekick to Kisaki in every way. But even that plan was eventually destroyed by Baji. And Takemichi saved Kazutora. But he could not save Baji. Once again Kisaki's plan failed. And the third was to instigate Shinjuku into destroying Toman. Even though Hanma's involvement in this fight was not great, he saved Kisaki in a very difficult time. Otherwise, he would have been destroyed by Mikey. And Mikey is trying to save Izana to the last. But Kisaki killed him. In the end, Hanma plays an important role in the story. He may not appear as much in the story as the other character. Yet every moment he is involved is very important in the story. Now in this final battle he is in Mikey's gang. We still don't know any backstory about the Kanto Manji gang. But we know what Hanma's role is in the gang. It is called Ugekitai. This means someone who can move unseen and strike without warning before melting away into concealment once more. It fits his character perfectly. So Hanma's character is bigger than we think. And I personally think Hanma is behind all these things. In my opinion, he is first time leaper. But I'm not sure about this. These are all just my thoughts. I just wanted to share this with you. Apart from all this, let me know in the comment section what you would like to see in story. Anyway, if you guys like this video, hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe. And good luck to all.